YouTube, what's going on out there? So, this is the start of Marvel Week Madness. To kick this off, we're going to be, well, I don't know if me and Joe are going to be doing it, but I know for a fact, what I'm going to be doing each single time, I'm going to be looking at one of the Marvel movies, and I'm going to be doing a 5-minute, and I mean only 5-minute review of what my thought process of it was. So, we're going to be going through Iron Man, we're going to be going through the Hulks, we're going to go through all the different Marvel movies, and up until the day of, which is going to be Thursday night at 10:30 for me, I'm going to be looking at the brand new Avengers Age of Ultron. So this is so awesome. So just finished watching Iron Man 1. I'm going to start off the countdown at 5 minutes. No matter what, it's going to be over. Just so y'all know. Starting now. So, my thought process on Iron Man. You got Tony Stark's being played by Robert Downey Jr., Gwyneth Paltrow playing Pepper Potts, you got Terrence Howard playing Rhodey, you got Jeff Bridges playing the main antagonist. That actually, this whole, in and of itself, it was very funny, gritty, and very stabilized to spawn something new. Because up until this point, we've had only kind of like Spider-Man that's been like the real inflation for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I think they wanted to start something brand new. And what this spawned is so amazing. So in 2008, this came out. And I kind of looked at it and I was like, it first starts off with like Tony and like this ATV, and he's joking around with these military soldiers. And then all of a sudden, the military soldiers get attacked, they get hurt, they get killed. And like he's left with shrapnel in his body. And then you kind of see like this kind of torture sense that's happening to him. And it's so grounded because you have like one person that kind of helps him out. And he's kind of like really trying to help Tony because the shrapnel around his heart, it could potentially kill him. And so what he develops is this way of electromagnetic that he's putting into his chest to try to protect him from that. And at the same time, Tony is developing a lot of humanity. And you kind of get a flashback of kind of how Tony acts and how he's just like the showboater, the drinker, and just the flaunter of all things that he represents of himself. And it's so funny because when he goes through what he goes through, this metamorphosis process of being tortured and being begged and pleaded to create these Jericho missiles, like he finds that the only thing he really cares about is trying to get him and this guy out. And like what comes out of it is the spawn of the first Mark I Iron Man suit, and it's so awesome how they actually did such a grittiness to it. Because like when he starts really kind of going in, like he's like knocking dudes everywhere, and it's just like so cool how they first made the first suit that I was like, okay, this is gonna be really serious. But then when he finally gets back to the real world, he gets this revelation of what he's doing. He doesn't want to continue to make things that are going to be at a hindrance to other people. And he doesn't want to be blindly idealistic in the sense of like what I am doing is going to profit me, but it's going to destroy and kill a nation essentially. And so he believes that the reason why he was spared life and having the shrapnel is a reminder for him that he was put here for a specific reason. And that reigns for the rest of the movie. Like he finds out that the person that he thought was his understudy and his help that had worked with his dad, it was really the main antagonist that tried to basically set him up. They try to get him killed. They try to take all the different things and knowledge that he's had. And it's really, really awesome. And I think that the relationship between Tony and Pepper is really good. And I talked to Joe about it. I said that like that shows a revelation that this is a great woman for him. So in spite of all his faults, all spite of things that he's done, like she still influences him, she still challenges him, but at the same time she's still grounded enough to keep herself so that he can kind of look and say, okay, all right, I'll do better, you know? And it's a really great relationship between the two of them. But I really like the action of this one. When the first scene of the first Mach 2, when he's all redded up and he had just kind of went through all these different tests of trying to work with his arm and the leg, and it's so freaking funny. The footage that the little machine had taken. But when he finally goes to this party and he gets the revelation that like this place, this city is being destroyed across the world, he loses it internally to the point that he's like, I have to do something about this. And so he puts on the Mark II, and when he gets over there, like he lays to waste of everything. I think one of my favorite memorable scenes is when he gets like shot out of the air by this tank. And he kind of looks back at the tank, dodges another missile, and just does one small little pea shooter. The tank just blows up in the background. He's just like walking away like a G. How it ends is even cooler because this is the first introduction to Nick Fury. If any of y'all haven't watched, after the credits, Nick Fury is introduced. Oh, I thought it was over. Somebody's calling me. But it's really, really great introduction. But if they had just made this alone as a standalone movie in 2008, this was one of the better movies that balanced comedy, action, but at the same time a great story arc. And having somebody on the caliber of Robert Downey Jr., it was perfect for the role. He was almost built and born for this role. So what's going to be next, and I'm going to be reviewing, is going to be The Incredible Hulk. Then after that, I think it's Iron Man 2. Then I think after Iron Man 2 is Thor. And then it is Captain America, the first Avenger. So let me going through those. I think I'm almost, and that's it. This is my 5-minute review for Iron Man, the very first one, 2008. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it. If you kind of did, please leave a like below. We got more to come, and it's going to be a lot of them. Hopefully I can get Joe to help me out with the rest of them. Later, everybody. This is SCL0220 signing out. Later.